All right, guys. On this week's video, we've gone all out. No, but seriously, we wanted to bring it back to our roots a little bit and see how it goes. Hit it.
Hi everyone, welcome back. You'll see in front of us we have two more Premier bottles.
Well, last episode we went super bottom shelf, so this episode we had to go top shelf.
Exactly. That being said, though, these bottles do have some significance to both of us.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into that. Bottle in front of me is a Jim Beam, and Jesse has Jack Daniels.
Yep.
I personally love Jack Daniels. I mean, that's my favorite go-to drink at the bar. Jack and Coke. It's recognizable. You don't have to say Jack Daniels and Coke. It's just Jack and Coke.
Agreed. And for me, one of my best friends, we have a tradition. He's got a little bit of property out on the eastern shore of Maryland, and every trip out there wouldn't be complete without, a shot or two or 12 or 15 drinks or so of Jack Daniels. So I'm kind of dedicating this episode to him. And Todd, why don't you tell us a little bit about your deal with Jim?
Yeah, so we mentioned a couple episodes ago that my father was a big Manhattan drinker, and Jim Beam was his bourbon of choice. So this has a lot of sentimental value to me. So this is something Jesse and I talked about early on, that we were going to do this episode. It was absolutely going to happen.
Yep.
So we're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead actually and just jump straight to an 8.5.
Well, that's the exciting part about this process. I actually have no idea what to expect.
I don't either.
The Jim Beam, believe it or not, I have never had in a Manhattan. I'm interested in what tonight's going to bring.
Real quick, I want to touch on the proofs. So these guys are, we've done some pretty high proof whiskeys.
Right.
We've done some, definitely some really kind of high end, highly sought after whiskeys. These guys you can find anywhere. You could probably even ask at a bar if they have an extra bottle and buy it from them.
Right.
Right. There's no crazy search to be done for either of these two.
Right.
And they both come in at 80 proof.
Yeah, and typically you're going to see Jack on special at the end of an aisle somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So let's see what it
Which
does.
is probably where I got this one.
It probably was. All right, you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's do it.
The problem I'm in, yeah, it's only the beginning. I'm a few shots in, cause I know I'm gonna feel it in the morning. All this liquid courage to my emotions I'm pouring to you. Listen like you are enjoying the reality. In fact, you just think it's also boring to hear. All this liquor I'm enduring, put another bottle back. It's just a fact, I gotta get out of here. I put another bottle back. It's just a fact, I gotta get out of here.
All right, that's 30.
Yeah. All right, why don't you work on those cherries while I finish up over here.
Well, I'll work on them.
I don't know what that means. But
I don't either, but I'm doing it. If work on them means I'm going to put cherries into these glasses, then that's what I'm doing. All right. So,
you have a preference?
I don't.
Okay.
Let's swap first. Bourbon swap. The great bourbon swap.
So the Jack looks a little darker, but then it does in the bottle as well.
Well, turn it so that you can't. Turn it so that you see the liquid through just the glass.
I stand by my statement. It still looks darker.
You think so?
It does.
I think you're crazy.
Well,
all right.
That may be the case, but in this case, the Jack is a little darker.
I agree. Okay. All right, let's do Jim.
Okay.
You know what?
It doesn't smell bad.
It smells like a Manhattan.
It does.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see what we got. So it's very sweet.
It is.
That hits me immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sweet. And even though it's 80 proof, we just did the Pappy, and I complained that I tasted too much of the vermouth.
Right.
I don't taste that with this.
I agree.
I think it tastes pretty good. Honestly, it's a little bit too sweet for my preference.
Right.
But it's not bad.
It's not bad.
You can tell that this is a very, very basic cocktail.
I agree. At this price point, though, I mean, if we were rating Manhattans at a really good price, it's not bad. But we're not rating it that way. We're rating it on overall.
We're rating it on what makes the best one in our opinions.
Right.
But the list that we have up there now, as we do more of these, we might branch off and kind of put some categories.
Right.
And have some, little bit tighter constraints on some of the different brackets of what we've done.
Right.
So this might be top of that when it comes to,
sure,
some very accessible, very low cost entry level bottles.
So,
for sure.
But for what we're doing right now, and the bunghole scale.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's okay.
It's okay, yeah.
What do you think?
It's okay.
You throw a number.
4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that it's really doing anything spectacular for me.
It doesn't have a lot of character. It doesn't have a lot of character. That's all it comes down to, or flavor. So
I agree.
So
I gotta stick just to the cocktail. What makes my favorite cocktail? And of the stuff that we've had now, there's way more to come. But I'm with that. I think a 4 is probably
we're just being real here. It's not great.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
If you're gonna order this at a bar, I mean, I don't know. If you go to a bar and order a Manhattan and the only thing that they have to give you is Jim Beam, then I guess, it's fine.
Depending on the price point, but yes.
Or if you're on that desert island that has ice cubes.
The Jim Beam desert island with everything but a spoon, yeah.
Jim Beam it is. Yeah, I'm good with a 4.
All right.
All right.
Move on to Jack.
All right, let's see. I don't know. Smells like a Manhattan to me.
My problem is it smells like Jack Daniels.
You think so?
Uh-huh. I'll tell you why that's a problem.
Okay.
After we drink.
All right. Vastly different.
It is.
Go ahead.
You're going to tell me I'm crazy. You already did once tonight, but
I'm going to do it again.
You're going to do it again, and maybe it's because I know what it is, but Jack has a very distinctive flavor, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the Coke is coming through right now.
Where did we have that somewhere? The Coke is coming through?
Coca-Cola, I mean.
So
you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, because this is the only way I can drink Jack Daniels with Coke, and I can taste Coke when I drink this. And we'll get back to the score, but this is not a bad Manhattan.
A bad Manhattan?
It's not a bad Manhattan, but we got the same thing going on here. These are 2 whiskeys that don't have a lot of character. They're meant to be mixers, but I don't think they're meant to be with vermouth and a Manhattan, in my opinion.
Not meant to be in some kind of an elevated cocktail.
Correct.
So
right.
Just a standard, spirit with a mixer.
Right.
I can't lie. I think it's probably the case, but I don't know. I don't think this is bad.
No, I don't think either one.
Well,
of them
I don't think
bad.
either. Okay, let me
right.
rephrase that.
Yeah.
I actually think this is halfway decent.
Okay.
I don't taste Coke. I mean, maybe it just happens to be the fact that I don't have any Coke in here. But no, I'm giving you a hard time.
Right.
I understand what you're saying. You have a mental perception of when you have a flavor and what you associate that with. So I get that.
I would say the Jack has a little more burn and character than the Jim Beam does.
It does. It's a much fuller flavor. It's not as thin. It's not just a bunch of sweet on top of sweet. You got sweet vermouth. Obviously the Jim is going to be sweeter than the Jack. Jack being the sour mash. I don't know. I think it lends itself definitely better to this kind of a cocktail than the Jim Beam
I
does.
agree. Yep.
For sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Right?
Yep.
Middle of the road, just above middle of the road. I would venture out to say that, this is something that you could get away with, having a cocktail like this with. This guy, I would probably say, is just below the point where I don't think that really warrants making a cocktail with.
Right. Well, I would make one at home with either one of these, a Manhattan. Mm-hmm. If there's a difference between running out to the liquor store for something of more flavor.
Yeah.
But I would totally do it. I mean, they're fine. They're
I
fine.
agree.
They're fine as a Manhattan. They're just not great.
I agree. And similar price points. So that being said, both of them being easily obtainable, both being about the same price.
Right.
If you're looking to go get one of these for the purpose of making a Manhattan, get the Jack over the Jim.
Agreed. Yep.
And that being said, it's going to lend itself better to some different cocktails too. Some
like
of the
Coke?
sweeter, like Coke. I mean, I think Jack and Coke might even be trademarked.
Yeah.
If
it's not, it should be.
But old fashions. I guess probably the two quintessential cocktails would be a Manhattan and an old fashioned, right? Old fashioned is already going to be sweet. It's got sugar and some other things in it. So something like this is just going to be too much sweet. Mm-hmm. This is going to lend itself towards multiple different cocktails, elevated cocktails like what we're making,
right?
And Coke. So yeah, I would definitely say this is the one that you want to go with.
Okay. Between
These two for sure. And Facebook group guys. Love all the comments that you guys are sending to us. Let's keep the community going. Let's build the brotherhood of good whiskey, and let's all have a good time together.
I like good times.
Me too. And Coke.
Coke.
And Jack. All right. Till next time, guys.
Cheers.